Hey guys, and happy Saturday. So today I am a part of the hula hoop challenge. So pretty self-explanatory. We had to take a hula hoop and make something from it. So first thing that I did was I took the hula hoop and I traced out the circle on the foam board. Sorry for all of the like focusing here, but I think the white of the foam board is kind of making my camera do something crazy. So I just took it, traced it out, and I used a box cutter and I cut the circle out of the foam board. And just to give you a little bit of information on the challenge, today's challenge is hosted by Create with Kayla, and it's co-hosted by Mary's DIY. And these ladies, I mean, I've checked out some of their videos and they're awesome. And when I saw this challenge, I was excited. So I said, you know what, I definitely have to try this one out. So I'm going to make sure that I link their channels in my description box along with the playlist. And so just make sure you go check them out. And if you're here from the playlist, welcome. Thanks for watching. And I hope you stick around. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channels, and do all that other good stuff because it really helps us out. And we all appreciate it. I know I do. So just be sure to like the videos, subscribe, and comment if you can, and let us know what you think. So once I finish cutting the pieces out, the next thing that I had to do was glue the two pieces of foam board together. And that, I just used some hot glue for that. It wasn't a big deal. You can use whatever kind of glue you want. Hot glue, this hot glue that I use is the Gorilla Glue, and I love it. It works for everything. I mean, I use it on everything, so that's my recommendation, but again, you can use whatever hot glue or whatever type of glue you want. Before I do that, I took my hula hoop outside and spray painted it. So while it's drying, I made these foam board pieces look like wood pieces. First thing that I had to do was take this embossing tool that I got at the Dollar Tree and just run it across the foam board. And you don't have to press down too hard. I made the mistake right here and I pressed down a little bit too hard, kind of poked a hole in it, but it's no big deal. Once I paint it, it's gonna look fine. So it'll just give it a little bit more realistic look. So I just went ahead, went across just a few inches, apart, and you can do them as far apart as you want. You can do them horizontally, vertically, whatever. I guess technically it doesn't really matter because you can just turn the piece of foam board around if you want them to be horizontal. So you can do this, and you don't have to use this embossing tool if you don't have one. I just happened to buy one recently, so that's why I'm using it. But you can use like the edge of a pen, like a pen top, or pretty much anything just to kind of run it across. You can take a screwdriver and kind of lightly do the same thing. So it's just, I just happen to have the tool because I grabbed one recently and I figured I might as well use it. So I did that with all of them. And then with the smaller piece, I just kind of did a portion of it. I didn't do, any bigger pieces. I kind of measured it out and tried to make it the same size as the other pieces, if that made any sense. I felt like I was just running on there. But yeah, so you just go ahead, do that to all of them. And then I did take the glue and glue two pieces together. And once you paint it, you won't even see that like the connection line there. And I thought I glued it first, but I guess I made the wood grain first. And I'm just using my Waverly wax paint. And you don't want to use a lot of it, number one, and you don't want to use just like a regular paintbrush. If you're going to use a paintbrush, use a chip brush, or if not, you can use a sponge, like one of those natural sponges that kind of have the little holes in it, not like a regular sponge, or not like those what are those little sponge brushes? Those don't work very well either, but like one of those sponges with the holes in it. Or I tried using my chip brush, but I think I forgot to wash it, so it was really hard and it just wasn't working for me. So I just took a paper towel that I had been using to kind of wipe stuff down as I was going, and that's what I ended up using, and it worked well. It worked just fine. So you take it and you just kind of smooth it on there, kind of just go through and make it look the way that you want it to look. If you want it to be darker, you want it to look more distressed, you just kind of go over it the way that you want to. And the wax paint is what works the best. I'm sure you could use, regular paint, but it'll tend to curl up the foam board. The wax paint doesn't do that, and it smooths on a lot better, so that's why I like using the wax paint. And I know right now it doesn't look like much, but once you do this and you just kind of keep going, over it, it really does look like wood. And I'm sorry for the dog barking in the background, but he's outside and he probably sees something. So, sorry about that. But so yeah, just keep kind of going over it. You can make darker spots, lighter spots. Just do it as you see fit, and kind of just to your liking. Like I said, you can, do it as dark as you want, as light as you want. If you want more of a gray one, like I said, you can use paint, but I just kind of like the way the wax paint soaks up into the foam board, and I think it works better. So, and if you want the grooves to show a little bit better, you can always just take a paintbrush and kind of go into the little grooves. But once this is dry, once it's all done, it looks really, really good. At least I think so. So you just do this until, until it looks the way that you want it to look. And like I said, I think the sponges work better, but the paper towel works better than that brush that I had. So that's what I did. And I didn't feel like going downstairs to get a sponge. So this is what I use, and it worked fine for me. And once I'm done getting this wood grain on there, I'm going to glue the two pieces together. And, you can use, like I said, you can use hot glue. You can use any kind of glue you want, whatever works for you. And I thought that I cut some more of this out, but I guess I didn't. So you get to see me do this wood graining process just a little bit longer. But again, be sure to check out the playlist, check out the ladies' channels, let them know that I sent you. And again, if you're coming from the playlist, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And, we're trying to grow our YouTube channels, and we appreciate every subscription, every like, every comment, because it helps us, helps our page grow, our channel grow. And, yeah, so thank you so much. See how I went just a little bit darker there? It was an accident, but it ends up looking really, really nice at the end. And it kind of just gives it a realistic look, because, wood grain doesn't look the same all the way across a piece. So it just gives it a more realistic look. And like I said, if you want the pieces to look more separated, you can just take a paintbrush and kind of go over the indentation, and then it'll look a little bit more separated and look like different pieces. So once this is all done, I got these two little crates from Dollar Tree, and I stained those with the wax paint. And I just went over those real quick with a coat. Didn't do too dark, didn't do it too thick, and just kind of went over it to change the color up. And once those were done, I glued all the pieces together. I glued these two crates onto the foam board. And I also took the hula hoop and glued that onto the foam board, just to, get everything on there. And like I said, all I used was Gorilla Glue, and I absolutely love that stuff. I use it for everything. Everything. And it works fine. Things hold up until I take them apart. Now, of course, with glass and stuff, you never know. Wood on glass doesn't really work that well, but it does still work. And here I go, gluing all the pieces together. I start off by gluing those two foam board pieces together. And there I go. And be careful, because I got it on my table. The piece kind of stuck to the table a little bit, but that's okay. It comes right off the table. Once those two pieces are put together, I got the hula hoop that I spray painted black, and I hot glued that on there. Just made sure that that was on there nice and secure. And now you can see like the indentations better from this angle. But like I said, if you want them to be more prominent, just get some paint and go into those lines, into the grooves. So then once the hula hoop is on there, I got the little crates and I glued those where I wanted them to be. And again, I think I said this in my last video, I do not like wearing gloves, but I just got my nails done again and I don't want to mess them up. So I went ahead and I took the gloves off now that all the painting and stuff is done. So I'm using these letters, these sticker letters from Dollar Tree, and I am putting the word herbs on there. And once I put the word herbs on there, I just got some foliage, I think is what it's called, from Dollar Tree, put it into the little crates, and that was all this took. And of course, you can put anything you want on there. You can leave it blank. You don't even have to put a word on there if you don't want to. You can put paint a picture on there. You can write these on there, whatever you want to do. And that is it. So I glued the little crates on there. Now that I know where I want them, I glued the crates on there and I put the foliage in there. And that's all she wrote. I thought this came out great. I enjoyed making it. It was pretty simple. And I think it's cute. And there we go. You can put flowers in there if you want to. And that's it. So hope you like it. And until the next video, be the reason someone smiles. Bye, guys.